beyond the city skyline. It's still, buildings are, you know, keeping it cool. So thank God. Can't stand heat. We've been somewhat lucky. We had a week of severe heat wave, real feel 108. But oddly, like for the most part, it's been cool-ish considering just that 1 week. Hoagie Fest. Wawa Hoagie Fest. Yay! I am vegetarian, so you can still get like a vegetarian sandwich. I don't know how much of a discount it is because vegetarian sandwiches don't have all the meat anyway, but after the Welcome America free hoagies, then they start their Hoagie Fest. Here in Philly, they give out free hoagies for a special pre-party to the 4th of July festivities, and that occurred on June 26th, last Thursday. So it's exactly a week ago. You could get free hoagies if you went down to Independence Mall and by the Constitution Center and everything. It's more like, it's south of the Constitution Center. It's more the blocks that are Market to Chestnut. That's the Independence Mall, Liberty Bell area. And then Hoagie Fest just started a day or two ago for discounted hoagies. There's Comcast Center 2. That's Comcast Center 1 off to the left. To the right is Comcast Center 2, which shares space with Four Seasons is on the western side. The western side is that way. This is the eastern side here. And that's, you know, Comcast. Channel 10 NBC has offices in there. Just like CBS has offices up on Spring Garden, the 15 and 1600 block. I guess the 1500 block, is that right? Yeah. So you can enter on the 1600 side. Massive complex there across from a new giant supermarket. So it's summer. There's a school down here, but there's no school in session. That's good. Russell Byers. It's a charter, I guess. Is it a private charter? I don't know. The Mulberry. This used to be James period. There's a Bell System, Liberty Bell thing here. And that would be another place that had a period at the end. Although James left, I guess it was a restaurant. And now it's the Mulberry. At whatever that residential building is. I actually was in that building. I went to Toastmasters a couple times to see if I could, you know, do public speaking or whatever. This is during a time period when I was desperate to connect with other people, and I tried everything under the sun. And a woman lived there, and we met up there for a special, I don't know, not workshop. It was like, I forget why. Maybe it was just like strategy or how to write a good speech or something. I'm not really certain. So anyway, she was nice. She had some sort of handicap, but I can't remember what it was. She's blind. I forget what it was, but she wasn't in a wheelchair. I know she had something. So. some concrete here. So the sticker of this female has made the rounds. I know I've seen that sticker in Florida. I think on YouTube videos I've seen that sticker in San Francisco, and it was used heavily in my scare, the scare tactics against Sharon campaign. I talk about it a lot in my videos of being made to believe I'd be murdered in my apartment, and then people even using kidnapping references. I had someone who expressed interest in me as a friend and maybe more in 2010 leading up to 2011, and all of a sudden she disappeared right before I was made to believe I'd be murdered in my apartment. I think that's part of the setup. She actually studied psychology and wound up a psychologist, which is disturbing because there are people who meet up with her thinking she's like gay friendly and everything. Anyway, I was on Facebook for a little while, but then got off because of how bad my case was. And she put on her Facebook an image of her hog-tied in a basement as if she were kidnapped. And we are talking about someone who was almost 30 years old. Usually people learn not to do stupid stuff like that as a joke. It wasn't like a comedian who's really like trying to do some sort of comedic act. And she had just gained acceptance into a group home, into one of these houses that used to be popular in Philly. They're not as popular today, but it became like living arrangements, like you interviewed with a group to see if you could be a housemate. And it became like all the rage back around 2005 through 2010. West Philly has a lot of them, but it's more of a protester group kind of thing. I think she was in South Philly. So she had this picture in, I believe it was the house that she interviewed to get into, like to be accepted into the gang, into a Goonie squad, into people who perpetuate fear and intimidation after making you believe you'd be murdered in your apartment through a very disturbing series of events. So anyway, but that sticker that's so well known is just one of probably 80 million tactics. So it could make you wonder, like, is that person stuck in some sort of human trafficking PIZZAGATE system? Is she like actually kidnapped? And most people see the sticker as annoying, whereas someone else, like, how do you know she's not like locked up in some cellar somewhere? You wouldn't. And what's even weirder, people could decide to take this image, say they don't know the person at all. Like, if you know the person and you know they're alive and well, then fine. Say you don't, say you